Good morning from Virginia. Just stop and listen for a second. So peaceful. Birds chirping, owls hooting. Nice to get back to some forest. I drove like 4.5 hours last night, just cranking out miles. For those that have been following along, I did end up fixing my drawer so far. So far, so good. The electrical seems to be only an issue when I'm using my B2B battery to battery charger, which I'm less worried about. And the water ended up drying up and no new water formed. So I think it was from a residual in the hose when the hose in the back fell over. So anyway, feeling pretty good. Things are working smoothly so far, but a helicopter. It's very loud. When there are no other sounds besides just birds chirping, planes and helicopters are a lot louder. Anyway, ooh, a turtle. Oh my gosh, this is not the video that I was expecting to make. Look at this. I was going to talk about reading, but hi buddy. Hi buddy. Want to say hi to the camera? No? Okay. Should I move him? Get him on the way back. Anyway, I was listening to some good podcasts yesterday, cranking out miles. I have felt like I've restoked a little bit of my motivation, of my drive to become better and pursue my purpose. And that's been kind of interesting to observe. I think it was the catalyst really was getting back into the van after leaving the cottage, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, something about that, like discomfort and moving and working in coffee shops is always fun. But yeah, I listened to podcasts between Chris Williamson and Tim Ferriss and this other health longevity podcast it was called How Not to Age. That's the book name, and I think the channel name is Plant Chompers or something like that. The couple from the channel was interviewing the guy who made the book, and very interesting. And it made me want to read more because of all of these books that sound really interesting, but I just haven't been able to cultivate a good reading habit lately. And this has not been a new issue. Back in, I don't know, February, that's cool. mountain. Turn around here. Back in February, I was struggling to pick up reading again, and I'm not quite sure. I'm wondering, I'm gonna kind of think out loud here. I'm wondering if it's partially to do with even like a little bit of YouTube phone use, because even that like little bit of dopamine will drown out the reward that you get from reading. But I don't know. I read a little bit at the cottage, and the other thing I was thinking about is like downtime. Is it that I don't have enough downtime? And certainly that's been the case the past like handful of days as I have been driving south to Virginia, just like putting in miles behind the wheel. But I don't know. The turtle's gone. So we'll see. I have been reading about this book called Nonviolent Communication, about communicating compassionately, I guess you could say. Identifying, observing your, rather than applying judgment to people of like, this person's evil because they did that. How do you effectively communicate with someone with compassion that something they've done doesn't match your expectations or doesn't, help you? So it's been interesting, but I haven't been reading as much as I would like. I just haven't been able to get into it. So anyway, that is my status update from the forest of Virginia. I'm gonna throw up the Starlink and write my blog post. See you tomorrow.